Hello, hello. Hey guys. Welcome in. Happy Thursday to you all. It is Thursday, July 28th. I hope you guys are feeling well. Happy new moon in Cancer to you. Today, officially, we have the new moon. Actually, the sun and the moon were at 10 degrees 10 degrees of Cancer. Were conjunct at 10 degrees of Cancer at noon Eastern Standard Time. Today, July 28th. So happy new moon to you. It is, in fact, Thirsty Thursday. And Pages, what's so funny about that comment is that just as I was chugging my glass of water here, I saw your comment and was like, yup, sure is Thirsty Thursday. And I got up and I got more water. I thought that was pretty ironic. But hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to the SIP. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are well. This reading, this message, this video, this session finds you well. Yeah? You guys, I have to tell you, I keep saying this, but I'm going to say it again. I am so excited for tomorrow. So tomorrow is Friday, and as many of you know, and if you are new here, you're about to know, but on Fridays we have our Friday hangout sesh, and that is where we do the SIP. We have our SIP normal time, usually, if I can get there, if it's anyway, normal time, noon Eastern Standard Time, here on Twitch and or YouTube. And I do the SIP for the day, and then I spend at least an extra hour with the collective just hanging out for Friday hangout sesh, yeah. But this time, I am really excited because I am planning on having arcade Fridays during our hangout sesh. And we're gonna play multiverses for at least a little bit. We can play other games. We can also play what was it? Oh, another idea I had was Fallout. Fall Guys. Now, these games, I'm listing these games specifically because you guys can get in on it. So like if you want to play, especially Fall Guys, because Fall Guys, I believe, can even be played on a mobile device. So if you wanted to get in on the games, we can all play together. That's the thing. So like, I'm really excited about that, but I'm really excited about multiverses. I was able to get my hands on a code for the beta, which they're in right now. It's not officially released yet. And I just randomly got one through a Twitch account, through my Twitch account, my personal one. And so I downloaded the game and I was like, maybe we could play this for the hangout sesh. So I decided yesterday that I was going to, test myself with the game, play it a little bit, get familiar with it, like go through the tutorial, see how I understand the game and everything like that, which shouldn't have taken me too long because it's literally like Warner Brothers copy of Super Smash Brothers, which is like one of my favorite games of all time, right? So I was like, okay, this should be good. So I figured I'd play for a few hours and get to know it, and then we would play together on Friday. Yeah, I played for like 5 hours. It was great, you guys. It's such an awesome game, and I'm pretty good at it. I went through a pretty decent. You love Fall Guys? Okay, awesome, excellent. And hello, Kamala. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, A Clear Review Revolution. Hello, everybody. But I had a pretty good winning streak going yesterday. So I'm excited to play again. I've decided that I'm going to try not to play today. I'll just be like, okay, cool. I did that. I'm good with the game. We can at least have a good time. And the whole time I'm sitting here, I'm listening to myself rationalize this consciously. Like, well, look, if we're going to play this game and I'm going to play with all the people here, all the friends, if I'm going to play with the collective and then open it up to other people to come in and play with us and hang out with us and everything like that, I need to know the game. I can't go in there looking like all fresh and new, like I don't know nothing and like embarrassing myself with all of my mistakes while I'm starting to learn the game. Like, nah, man. And I want to give you guys something to watch. Like I want it to be interesting, I want it to be like real battles and shit, like really engaging. So I rationalized it as, well, I'm going to play now so that I can learn the game and then we'll play later. I love it. Still making excuses to this day. But you see, even even the energy of like calling it making an excuse. It's like it like makes it seem like I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm playing a game. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, okay. Anyway, hello, you woman, you. Stephanie. She is Stephanie. Hello, darling. Ready. So today, so that's tomorrow. Okay, I am so excited for that. Our Friday hangout sesh with Arcade Fridays. With the Arcade Friday extension. That's the first way I want to hear it. The Arcade Fridays mod, the Arcade Fridays, not annex. Extension, I guess. Expansion pack. There it is. Arcade Fridays is an expansion pack that we're installing into the main game of the SIP, the main program, software of the SIP. Yes. Yes, I like that. It's an expansion pack. Yes. Okay, Arcade Fridays, cute. This will be on Twitch. And I do think, I was thinking about that. I mean, I think I'm just going to leave it on both YouTube and Twitch. It's definitely going to be on Twitch. But then maybe if we really get into an arcade thing about it and like people on YouTube don't really want to watch anymore, I may just take it to strictly Twitch. But I would recommend, if you're thinking about doing Twitch, I recommend it. I've found that Twitch is a really awesome site. And some of you that don't really know what it is, it's ERIC is correct. Some of you that don't necessarily know what it is, you might think it's just for like gamers and just like people playing video games and watching each other do that and everything and playing along or whatnot. But it's not just that. I mean, yes, it's a huge platform for that. It's mostly that, mainly, I guess you could say. But there are still other things. Like there's where you would find Mystic Unicorn TV, which is my name over on Twitch. You would find me in the just chatting category, and just chatting is enough of a subject itself, you know what I mean? And then there are all kinds of other categories. It's a really beautiful thing. I've found it to have replaced a lot of what would be like TV time for me. Like say back in the day, I would be watching, network TV and whatnot, or have that on in the background as I'm doing my things, whatnot, whatever. But I found that finding the right channel on Twitch actually is one of the best things for me to do, because it's real people, it's true people. It's not mainstream media, and like I know I'm on YouTube as a platform, and that's very corporate. But I mean, I like to, when it comes to the content that I want to take in, it doesn't come from network TV anymore or like mainstream media anymore. It comes from raw, authentic, live action, real people. Ironically enough. I want to say something, but you know what? I'm not going to. Oh God, but I really want to, because it's very ironic. I just made an association to which I have the same feelings in another aspect of my life, where I say there's two aspects of it. There's like, we'll say Hollywood and like an indie film, right? I like more of the indie films. I like more of the indie feel. I like more of the amateur feel versus the studio feel. Maybe if you can catch my drift there. I like the amateur better than the studio. But so like more, or like the indie film versus the Hollywood film. I just, when it comes to enrichment, when it comes to what I'm filling myself with in the background, I like to have real people, listening to real people. YouTube was where I first started doing that, but now I'm starting to find the value in Twitch. More specifically, to really let you know where I am lately, I recently found a streamer that goes by the name of Hassan Piker, and many of you might have heard of him if you're familiar with the Young Turks. He was on there famously for his he is famously known and ridiculed for his comments surrounding 9/11. If you know who I'm talking about, then you know who I'm talking about. He's like was declared one of Twitch's like best streamers, or like Twitch's best streamer. He is. Well, he's a political commentator. That's really what he sells himself as, or what he presents himself as. But I recently found him, and besides the fact that the man is gorgeous, I like listening to him because I like his rationality. I like his sense of humor. I like his intelligence. I appreciate his intelligence. I vibe with his intelligence a lot. And actually, he makes current events, I guess you could call it, or maybe even pop culture, but it's not pop culture. It's like news media. It's politics and all that kind of stuff. It's not really economical, actually. He's not an economist, but anyway, it's like real world events. It's like I don't know. He's not a millennial though. But as a millennial, I would say it's more of like a revolutionized newspaper almost, because you still get the news, but you also get a lot of his own personal coloration of it. And I just like listening to him. I like having him in the background, and he's there on Twitch, but just chatting. He is so hot. Like, it's gross, actually. At some point, sometimes I'm just like, ew, stop. Like, can you just stop, please? I don't understand. But he does. He keeps it very, very real. He keeps it very real, okay? So this is the type of thing that I would listen to. I don't know if that makes me a leftist. I don't think I am. I don't know. I don't know what I'm. And this is not a political channel, so like I'm not trying to get into that. But yeah. So anyway, that was just my argument for Twitch and how I'm really excited to actually start doing things. So like the more gaming we do, if we really do, like if this Arcade Friday things takes off, it's most likely going to be on Twitch. But I will say there is a good amount of gaming live streaming that does happen on YouTube. It's just that Twitch is for streaming, whereas YouTube is like becoming a conglomerate of video outlet possibilities. But anyway, video content to be released. Excellent, Pages. I love that. Actually, Pages of Ascension, to be quite honest with you, I feel like you personally would really love it. I feel like you could find some things that you would really enjoy. And this does feel like, and this is just a feeling that I'm picking up on just being connected with your energy. I feel like you would find some things that you personally vibe with outside of the like mysticism and spiritual awakening, whatnot, whatever. There isn't, I'm going to say this clearly though, there isn't much of the spiritual type, tarot type situation over on Twitch. There are quite a few channels and people that do it, but I've noticed through my searching and my searches and my investigation of the site itself, it doesn't seem to be one of the most popular aspects of Twitch. So I don't think you're going to go there and find a lot of things in terms of spirituality and awakening and tarot readings and stuff like that, or channeled messages and stuff like that, like you would find on YouTube, okay? Well, Brittany, I think you should just go ahead and do it. YouTube is just changing. They're in constant flux. They're doing a lot of different things. I'm not trying to speak down or ill of it. I mean, it's not, I don't work there. I don't work for them. I don't know what they're dealing with. I don't know their market or how they approach the market, blah, blah, blah. My username on Twitch can be found in the description box below, but it is Mystic Unicorn TV, all one word, no caps. Josiah, I think that's a really good idea. And part of me mentioning that, you guys, is because that was kind of like a hint, nudge, nudge to those of us that might want to think about doing that. Let's start a community over there. I think that's a really excellent idea. I think we should start a community of readers and healers and chatters. Because also, I mean, this is nothing new. We all know, we're all aware at this point that YouTube does censor, should they feel they must. And while it's not that doesn't happen on Twitch, it's a little different on Twitch. No longer for the community, just cash. That is kind of true. That could be really awesome. So this is my argument that maybe we should start migrating over to Twitch. But that doesn't mean I'm leaving YouTube behind, because I still want to do these live sessions and I still want to do readings, like video readings for the collective. It's just that YouTube is in fact changing right now. I guess we can talk about this because it's common knowledge now. YouTube is changing, has been changing for a long time, introducing new things and taking things out and blah, blah, blah. Like famously, the dislike button. That, from my personal opinion as an individual that uses, as a creator on YouTube, I did not desire that at all. I didn't want that, actually. I actually like having the visible dislike button. I've even gotten to a point, this is kind of a sidebar, but I've even gotten to a point where I like the dislikes now, because that's proof of discord, or that's proof of differing of opinion, and I like that. I like that someone doesn't agree with me. You know, I like that, you know what I mean? It's something I've come to appreciate. But anyway, so one of the biggest changes that YouTube is making right now is, as you guys, some of you know, because I did mention this, I asked you about this directly, but they are emphasizing shorts now. YouTube is emphasizing shorts, and it's actually changing the algorithm to do that, but it's also that change in the algorithm is having an effect where there are a lot of big, I mean like millions of subscribers type creators that are losing revenue, losing subscribers, losing views lately because of the changes, the shift in direction that YouTube is going. So while we are still going to be creating these videos, these longer videos, that we have to supplement as creators. We have to supplement somehow, basically, is how it goes, is how I'm seeing it. And in the direction that I feel myself personally going in, and even the collective here, because I feel like moving to Twitch is or moving to a platform like Twitch in some way is really great, because that encourages us and allows us to have more open discord, have more open face-to-face and communal conversations together, and have content. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a much more open space. So I feel like that would be really beneficial to the collective at this time. So between needing to supplement, but then also finding that this actually might be really good for the collective, this is the direction we're going in, but this is also why it's happening. Okay. Jealous of TikTok much? Yes, they have been accused of that by many people. Many people. Hi, Zephyr. You used to do readings. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I have so much of the chat to catch up on. Pages, you do marketing and video productions and gardening, so much more, and it feels like YouTube boxes people in. Yes, you're not interested in being boxed in anymore. See, this is an aspect or a point of view that I heard from someone whose video that I stumbled upon that talks about this. Second time, this is the second person, completely different YouTuber that I've seen basically put their 2 cents in. But also, this person was showing us with like analytic, like screenshot evidence of what he was talking about and how this is affecting his channel. Wait, where were we? Oh, YouTube is actually part of their algorithm shift, or part of their situation, well, algorithm shift is to put more emphasis less on the individual creators and what their specific analytics are that would either boost, support their channel or not, okay? Or maybe in some cases cause decline. Instead of focusing on that for the creators, there is an emphasis on what seems to be YouTube's corporate agenda. And that effectively is, at least this is from the way it was explained from this individual who was giving his 2 cents, sharing his side of the story, that seems to be pushing forward videos of this, like say this individual's content that has some sort of trending alignment, you know, which would ultimately boost revenue and corporate agenda or anything like that, any sort of corporate deals or alliances they may have, because this was specifically for Star Wars content. So who knows what deal the Star Wars production side made with, you know, YouTube or some sort of like social media boosting of promotion or what, like, you know, that kind of energy. But then that is to the detriment of the creator. So for this person, the content creator, so for this person, yes, he does have some content that involves Star Wars, but he showed evidence of the fact that his audience isn't so into his Star Wars videos and are more into another type of video that he had just created, but did not do as well as would normally do, given that his audience has and still does, through other evidence, still does really highly value this specific type of content. But because this specific type of content was not of Star Wars topic or genre, it was not pushed out more as the Star Wars video did. You get what I'm saying here? You get where I'm going at? So unfortunately, certain creators, especially certain big ones, are really feeling the pinch of this because their numbers aren't the same and revenue isn't the same. So there is a need to diversify. The first person that I heard that talked about this was talking about the shorts in particular, and how he was saying that he can't for himself and for his content and for his viewers who don't like shorts, he doesn't even know what he would do to use that. But that seems to be evidence of how you can boost and grow your channel now, albeit there is no revenue in that. Is that ironic or not? Videos less than 8 minutes cannot be monetized, guys. Those shorts are a maximum of 60 seconds. Ironic or not? But anyway, you see what's happening here? So this is what's happening in YouTube world. They really do censor, too bad, but what comes through come. Yeah, let's move. Yeah. You used to do readings, Brittany. You learned that for yourself in particular, you can only accurately do readings on people you don't know anything about personally. That's interesting, and I've heard that quite a bit, but you do have the ability to grow out of that. It's really just about growing your, developing, strengthening your emotional constitution, really. And being able to look past, you have to be able to look past your emotional connection and not just with that person. And it's not to say that emotional connection is bad or toxic or codependent. No. But you have to be able to see past that emotional connection to do readings for people that you do have that closeness with. It is possible, but I understand the aversion to it. And also I understand the difficulty with it. It's very much akin to reading for yourself, which also can be done with practice, of course. It's really about getting very, very clear with your intuition to know when your intuition is speaking to you and when it's not, okay? That's really what it boils down to. You've been watching videos about the algorithm as well as the shorts. Yep. Everything is trying to be TikTok. Yep. You find yourself unconsciously scrolling through YouTube shorts because you see something really cute. But really yes, exactly. They really bait you in. That's exactly right. That makes sense. Yep. That was totally planned and makes sense to what you've been seeing going on. Yeah, you like analytics, so you've been paying attention to all of this. You're welcome, Pages. I'm happy that I can see. Okay, then that makes sense as to why I spent the first half hour of our session talking about that, because obviously that was needed in some way. So, okay, good. I see the value in it now. Excellent. We were supposed to be talking about this Dancing with the Devil energy again. So let's do that. And depending on how much that is, maybe we won't do tea time today. Maybe this can be our tea time, but I'm really enjoying this discourse right now. So I want to continue I just kind of want to go with the flow and continue the vibe. Yeah. You spent hours on short clips once. Yeah, they are truly captivating. You know, there's someone that's on Twitch. I don't remember her name, but she's not on Twitch. She's on TikTok. I've actually found her on YouTube, but I was kind of on TikTok at the time. But and she spit some fire, honey. I've shared when I still when I still had a Facebook page. I had shared some of her stuff, and if you guys remember the page on Facebook, you may recall the videos that I shared. One was like, and I sip, like she had a glass of something, and she was saying all the beautiful things that, you know, she's being grateful for, and blah blah blah. And it's like, and I sip, like if you remember, but anyway, She put out this one video that rationalized the reason, or put into a certain point of view, I should say, not rationalized, but put into a certain framework, a frame of mind, or a point of view of how everyone's trying to be like TikTok, but in a sense by saying all this emphasis on like these short videos, this short content. And what she said was, it's like they're preparing you to have a shorter attention span. They don't want you paying it so much attention. They want you to have a short attention span so they can continue to manipulate that. And when I saw that and I heard that point of view, I was like, girl, I thought you were brilliant before, but damn. And I wish I remembered her name. I am following her on TikTok. Sorry, I just saw a text from my friend about when we were hanging out yesterday. Anyway, where were we going with this? Oh, so anyway, I'm supposed to be getting to this talk about this discussion about, because yesterday this came up. Yep, exactly, enjoying the journey. So keep that in mind, guys. But we're gonna move forward. And let me update this. Yeah. Oh, Aníbal! Come on, man. My landlord is doing something out there. He's got to fix a pipe or something. Anyway. Oh, there's Queen Bee. Okay, so wait. I got you. Okay, so we've got Queen Bee over on Twitch today, y'all. Queen Bee is in the house. I'm sorry. I just saw your chat. Yay. I just saw your chat because I've been over at I've been channeling, but I'm split between here and YouTube. But hello, darling. I don't whose name? What was that chat? I don't know. Anyway, what was I looking for? Oh, I wanted to go onto TikTok and see if I could find oh my god. That was Keanu Reeves. Unreal Keanu? Yeah, I need to follow him. Of course I need to follow Keanu Reeves on TikTok. Are you kidding me? Of course I do. Oh, Jasmine's Garden 23 on TikTok. At Jasmine, JASMINES Garden 23. I mean, I love this woman. I absolutely love this woman. I mean, she spits nothing but fire. Okay, nothing but fire. She's amazing. But what we're supposed to be talking about is hello, Ivy. So what we're supposed to be talking about is dancing with the devil again, right? And this came up yesterday. Well, it actually came up over the weekend. That's when I think it was on Sunday that I first posted those shorts talking about emerging out of a sense of hermit mode, right? Because this actually, I'm going to tell you guys this story. So actually it's story time. Instead of tea time, it's story time. So settle in, get yourself... Do you guys hear all that? I'm sorry if you hear all that. My landlord has to fix something. But anyway, it's story time. So get your tea, whatnot, whatever, and settle in because I want to tell you this. Because This story goes back to a few weeks ago, I guess, where I remember vaguely, I don't remember the context in which this came out. Oh, you saw that, Stephanie. Oh, I love that. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, so there was a feeling of emerging out of this, or wanting to come out of hermit mode. I remember a few weeks ago, I did personally feel this. That's right, because when this energy first came through, I recalled at that moment, because I was feeling anxious, like I had to get out of my apartment this one day. And I had already had plans to potentially do that with a friend, maybe go to brunch, but that ended up falling through, and I spent the morning at home, and I had breakfast at home and everything. And so I didn't leave the house that morning. But then by later on that day, like towards like 2 or 3 o'clock, I was like, oh my God, I have to get out of here. I have got to get out of this apartment. So I went out and I ran some errands, but then I ultimately landed at the bar, one of my favorite places, where a friend had just started working. A very good friend had just started working. Noah, actually. Noah came through, was on, I think it was Friday. Yes, some of you that were here for our last Friday hangout sesh, you saw him in the chat. He was working, and he was texting me, asking me to come down and save him because he was bored and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't because I was still streaming, but he was like, oh my God, how can I watch? And I sent him the link, and he came into the chat, right? So my friend Noah. So he had just started working at this place. So I ended up, I saw his car as I was driving by doing my errands, and I was like, oh my God, that's right. So I like flipped a bitch and went back and hung out with him, and it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed, right? But with that was the realization that I am emerging out of a sense of hermit mode. And I feel like collectively we all are in some way. And in that moment, when I was making that connection in the energies, I recalled something that my very, very good friend Betsy of formerly Fearless Intuition, then but now Love and Science on YouTube, very, very dear friend of mine, which she mentioned, she replied to a tweet that I put out while in this hermit mode saying, so when does this hermit mode become improper or too much? Because I've been in it a long time, and in it for a long time, and I don't see myself coming out anytime soon, was basically the gist of what I said. And Betsy replied with, you will know when it's time to come out of hermit mode because you'll start to get anxious and antsy. Well, sure enough, that day I got anxious and antsy and was like, I gotta get out of here. And thus I started to emerge from this hermit mode. But there's something different about it this time. Starkly different. And I'm going to relate this to you guys in terms of how I have experienced it. You take it into your life as it resonates. Okay, excellent, Kamwa. Perfect. I love that. So you take it into your life as it resonates, but this is how it's translated for me, or this is how it's played out for me. Wait, where were we? Okay. So first of all, with this hermit mode energy, I noticed that it's cyclical. Because at the same time last year, I was in a hermit mode as well. And I felt like I was in that hermit mode for specific reasons of things that were happening that year. But now, a year later, in hindsight, with the same thing happening, but not having those same circumstances as last year, I'm seeing, okay, this is a cyclical thing. Great. When I came out of that hermit mode the first time, I was wilding out. I was all about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just going out there. I was doing all the things. I was meeting all the people. I was having all the fun, blah, 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 blah. And I burnt the fuck out. Okay, that makes sense. And then I went back into another hermit mode. But in this hermit mode, I whipped myself back up and I was like, ooh, okay, right. See, what we just did right there, that's exactly what we've been trying to stop doing. Excellent. Let's heal again. Okay, we're going through this hermit mode again. This feels right. This feels good. Excellent. But now it's time to come back out. But when we come back out this time, it's, hold on a second. Now it's much more mature, right? Because now it's like, all right, look, I know I'm freaking the fuck out. I've got to get out of this house, but I can't just go anywhere. I can't just do anything. I can't just go out and hang out with anyone, right? Because this time, in coming out of this hermit mode, We have a greater sense of self, a higher sense of awareness, and a much greater sense of stability, groundedness, and boundaries that we have developed, and that we have consciously developed, and that we would also consciously like to maintain. But we would also like to be out in the world, experiencing, living our lives, doing the things we want to do. We don't want to stay cooped up in the house forever. Maybe for short or extended periods of time for healing. Yeah, that's great, but we're going to come back out at some point. But this time, make it count is what I'm hearing. Make it work. Make it mean something. Right? So this is where all of this wrapped up and tied up in a little bow is where I'm getting this energy of dancing with the devil again. Because it seems that in this last phase of hermit mode, there was a sufficient amount of healing and reorganizing or reconstituting of energies, reworking of energetic understandings, releasing of trauma, healing of some really deep wounds, or deeper healing of some of the same wounds, but sufficient enough to bring you to a much higher vibrational level. And you will know that you're at that higher vibrational level by recognizing what it is you see now when you look at those same circumstances versus what it is you used to see in the past before, we'll say, this last hermit mode, versus how you used to see it back then, before you reach this sufficient level of healing and deeper understanding and now subsequently higher vibratory rate. Okay? This is the difference. This is why I'm so glad I'm not trying to read cards right now and I can just let things flow, because he's really fixing something right now. Okay, anyway, so this is where my understanding, or I guess my description of dancing with the devil again comes from. Okay? Because like I said in those videos, the shorts that I posted this past weekend, this devil is not really anything to fear. It's a natural part of this world. It's actually not even just a natural part of this world, but the actual tug of war, I want to call it, between light and dark is actually a very natural and literal part of the consciousness we are focused within right now at this time, in this lifetime, in this life cycle. So this struggle, I guess we can call it, between the light and the dark is actually quite natural. There is nothing going on here that is unnatural or is, quite frankly, unintended. Like I said, this is a very intentional aspect of our reality, and that reality is one of dualism. One and the other, or one and the other. There is no other here. Both are natural and are intended to be in this situation, in this reality, okay? So with that said, when you look at all of what's going on in life and what the devil is and why this devil aspect is really not something to fear, is because it's a natural aspect of this situation and it's creating contrast. It's giving us an opportunity to choose. Will we align with light or will we align with darkness? Light or dark? It doesn't make either of those bad. And really the intention here is to integrate and harmonize those two parts of self in order to reach a higher level. Because when you get out of this level, this dynamic between light and dark is not a thing, because in these higher levels, this dynamic between light and dark, this duality is integrated. So that is why this is a very natural part of the reality we find ourselves in. There is nothing unnatural going on here. This is how this push and pull, I'm hearing the laws of cause and effect are meant to work. Give the variables, give the individuals, and then give those individuals the right to free will, in the case of our situation here, and let's see what happens. Giving you, as an individualized personality, Like me, I'm Eric, which is part of a greater oversoul, you could call it. And you yourself are your individual self, individualized self, as part of a greater soul, your own self, right? But what this dualism, this dualistic reality is giving you is the opportunity for you to define your sense of individuality. It is no mistake that you are an individual with free will in this dynamic. It's actually very intentional. There is very much a very real intention for it. And that is for you to live and experience and to choose where you will align, which side really you will align with. Now, of course, when you reach the fifth dimension, yes, these are all this is starting to get more and more integrated. But what I am intending to talk about here, which does connect with the like I mentioned on Twitter and Instagram, the Law of One, which is a channeled book message from the collective consciousness that is known as Ra. In this book, The Law of One, Ra actually talks about this and literally talks about the alignment as what is known as a demon or versus what is known as a devil, or a demon or an angel, okay? The dark or the light, right? Good or bad, positive, negative, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, right? Well, so as Ra describes this, a soul, a being, will go through experience, and I'm paraphrasing, right? I'm taking this. This is not verbatim. I highly recommend that you read this content because it's great. Maybe we should do that together. But a soul or an individual, a soul will consciously choose its alignment by the actions that it takes in existence, in reality, okay? In its incarnations and in all this stuff. And that will polarize this entity or this soul either further towards the light and essentially further towards love, or further towards the darkness and the absence of love. Now, this is very particular and very specific. We don't mean darkness in terms of, like, say, just without light because in this dualistic reality, we have to keep on understanding that just saying darkness doesn't always mean bad, and saying light doesn't always mean good. Okay, but it's for us as individuals to define those things for ourselves. But I just wanted to make that, I felt it was important to make that connection. Okay, now when we talk about, so actually we should say aligning towards love or aligning towards the lack of love, or maybe just straight wisdom or straight intellect, right? Pure intellect without any sort of love involved. Okay, now that will polarize a soul, what it is they choose to move with. And it is absolutely within their own free will to choose where it is that they are going. Buffering, huh? I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to continue. Now, in terms of this, in the ascension of a soul or the development of a soul through the dimensions, right? So first, second, third dimension where we find ourselves physically, that's what we're physically born into. And then we have the fourth dimension, which is the astral plane. And then the fifth dimension, which is like the heart chakra, kinda. Fifth 5D, that's like the plane of it, where Venus is, or that's like the vibration that Venus is on. That's like a fifth dimensional planet, or actually no, I think Venus is sixth dimensional. But then you have the sixth dimension, right? Now, fifth dimension, third dimension is the physical realm, where we're physically born into as these human beings. Fourth dimension is where we start to get into the astral realm, which is non-physical. That's where we start to cross into the non-physical, because the first three dimensions, first, second, and third, are all physical. The fourth dimension is a gateway or is a bridge between the physical realities and the physical dimensions and the non-physical or spiritual dimensions, okay? The fourth dimension is considered the astral realm, the astral dimension. The fifth dimension, wait, I had this one way, but then, because I was going to say the fifth dimension is, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I needed greater definition. Spirit helped me out. Okay. The fifth dimension is where sixth. Yes, the fifth dimension is where you're learning the laws of wisdom. Hold on. Okay, I'm remembering other things about it. So, okay, let me go. I have to go back. Fourth dimension, yes, astral realm. But it's also where you start to learn the lesson of love. The fourth chakra is associated with the fourth dimension, right? And when you look at the chakra system, your heart chakra, your fourth chakra, is in between your physical chakras. So if you go further down, you have your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. Those are all really about your physical body. Okay, and of course, the sacral chakra is also about your emotional body, but that's really associated with the physical body. And then above the heart chakra, I mean, it's all associated with the physical body, but those are the physical chakras. The higher you go, the less and less dense you get. So you move from the heart to air, to light, and then to spirit, to knowledge. The seventh chakra is like just a portal, okay? But so your heart chakra, the fourth chakra, is just like the fourth dimension, which is like a bridge between the higher and lower chakras, or higher and lower planes or dimensions. But it's within the fourth chakra or the fourth dimension that you also start to learn the law of love, the lesson of love. Okay, and it's within the fourth dimension, as Rod describes it, it's within the fourth dimension that you have energies of like martyrdom syndrome. Okay, as Rod has described it, it's people like Martin Luther King or Mother Teresa, extreme humanitarians like this that really give their lives to their cause or to the people or to whatever it is they believe in. They are essentially a martyr. They make themselves into a martyr by the lives that they live or whatnot, whatever, you know, not to say that that's narcissistic or it has narcissistic intentions, but it's considered a fourth dimensional reality or situation because this is the level of the heart. So these were souls that were living lives from a fourth dimensional point of view, giving learnings in some way for their own reasons, this extreme lesson in love, while also creating an experience for obviously everyone else that they affect through these lives that they live to learn something or experience something through this energy too, right? Okay. But then you move to the fifth chakra, which is, I swear, the sixth chakra is the wisdom. I might have this all twisted around, but essentially what Ra is describing is the ascension process. And eventually you get to the point where you learn the law of love, then you learn the law of wisdom. Once you pass through that dimension, I want to say the fourth dimension, you get to the law of wisdom, which probably is the fifth dimension. This is truth, honesty, speech, communication, okay? But it's within this lesson of wisdom. Hey, Brittany, it's within this lesson of wisdom that you learn to care for the self. It's where you learn to temper that extreme givingness of the heart. And it's within the law of wisdom that you start to learn the lesson of self-preservation, okay? That's the law of wisdom, or that's the initiation of wisdom. But then, at that point, then you move to the sixth dimension, which is, as I understand it, I remember hearing that it's the sixth dimension. This is where your higher self is. So when we talk about communicating with your higher self or whatnot, whatever, this is up in the 6th dimension, or this is the 6th dimensional version of you. And yes, there very much is one right here, right now. But that is you essentially in the future, we'll say. Future you, if you will. But depending on your alignment and balancing between the laws of lesson, light, and the laws of wisdom, we'll say in this situation, dark, depending on your polarization here, you may or may not be able to pass the 6th dimension. So what happens here is you can't get past the 6th dimension if you don't have a sense or a level of love woven into your energetic signature. Because it is past the 6th dimension that there's all the love. There is nothing but anything else. The infinites that would exist past the 6th dimension for us, as we consciously understand it, would require an alignment with love. But essentially, these individuals that are seen as, we'll call them demons, they are actively rejecting love. And Ra describes this as either choosing the path of service to others, the path of light, or the path of service to self, the path of darkness. And within the law of free will, there is no right or, and within the greater laws of the universe, one of them that states there is no right or wrong, there is only experience. No matter whether you want to agree with that or not, that is a law. There is no right or wrong. There is no such thing as right or wrong. There is merely experience. Okay? And your experiences, all wrapped up together as a soul, determine your polarization as you're moving through these first 6 dimensions. And if you are, and the thing about the path of service to self is that path takes a hell of a lot of dedication and determination to really progress in your polarization on that path. Let's explain it this way. Let's explain it like a video game, right? Let's say you're playing Skyrim or some sort of role-playing game, Dungeons and Dragons, if you will, some sort of role-playing game in which you are trying to polarize yourself on the. Do any of you remember Fable? There was an RPG back in the day that started on Xbox that really shows this really, really well, because you are this hero, and yes, you love that game. I love that game too. That was one of my absolute favorite games ever. But for those of you that are not familiar with it, it was a game in which you played this hero and you had to interact with this open world. And the way you interacted with this open world either polarized you as an angel or a demon. And over time, the more and more you progressed, the more and more your physical body and your actions would reflect this polarization for yourself. And you could remain neutral too. But anyway, that's what I'm describing here, or that's what Ra has described here. And the real important part, Spirit really wants me to nail this down. The real important part here is, you guys, there literally is no such thing as right or wrong. There really is no such thing as heaven or hell. Hate to burst that bubble for you, but that is a human construct. Okay? The universe does not judge you the way that the mainstream, or maybe even religion, God does not judge you in the way that the mainstream, or maybe even especially religion, is and has been working and successfully albeit to get us to believe. We judge ourselves in that way, and that creates that either heaven or hell that they speak of. But really, even if you polarize yourself, so let me go back. You have to really dedicate yourself, right? So, okay, we're in this role player game, right? And let's say you have missions, or you have objectives, or you have things that you can do. You have a list of things that you can do in this game to develop yourself as the character, the individual character that you are. And as you do that, you get a certain amount of points that lead you through these milestones and level you up in whichever way you desire. Apparently, polarizing yourself with the light and with love is super easy compared to the amount of work, and I mean conscious, dedicated work you have to do to polarize yourself on the opposite, without love. Okay? Number one, it doesn't give you as many points. Those missions don't give you as many points. And number two, you have to do more of it. And so that's what kind of helps drive this perception of anger or malice or disdain for the light and love. And maybe there actually is. Maybe this soul has gone through enough experiences to say, fuck love. Fuck love. I work through wisdom now. I work through intellect. Fuck love. And thus, they polarize themselves. They go on that path out of righteous indignance a lot of the time. They go on that path of polarizing themselves towards wisdom or without love, thinking that they'll be able to really do everything without love. Unfortunately, that's where the pain of the sixth dimension kind of comes into play. Because without love, you can't progress. Now, maybe it's not painful for these individuals because maybe they really do like that. By the time a soul will consciously reach the sixth dimension, they could manipulate anything they wanted beneath them, so to speak, dimensionally speaking. And they oftentimes do. This is where our big bad demons come from. This is where it's said that Satan is. His consciousness. Sixth dimensional. But he's not going anywhere past the sixth dimension. It is always your choice, you guys. Now, part of the malice or the way that it can be perceived as those who are polarized in this path of service to self hate so much those who are polarized towards a path of service to others is because if this individual that is polarized by the path of service to self comes into direct contact with a being of light, that interaction will drastically depolarize this being of darkness and effectively erase all of the hard work they've been doing. That ain't gonna go down too easily. Right? So I guess this is what you can say as this is where the war comes from. If we just eradicate all those lovers, we won't even have to worry about them. But then the lovers come down here and we're like, hey, I'm just as much as free to be here as you are, buddy. Like, whatever. I don't want to fight you. I just want to live and exist. Love to you, boo. But this is where I'm getting Dancing with the Devil again, but this time as a divine alchemist, because it's from this understanding that you can do it. Recognizing that you will depolarize them. This is why you agitate those who are of darkness, who are actively working on polarizing themselves on this path of wisdom, rather than lacking love, and including lacking love, rather than on a path of service to others. Nope, they're on a path to service to self. And your energy, your light, your love effectively stands to depolarize them. And it's either simply intellectual in that, damn it, I did all this work and now I have to go back and do it again because you erased it, because you fried my hard drive with your high vibrational energy, and now I lost all that data, I lost all that work. Or there is an actual aversion to love. Fuck love. Right? Doesn't matter. And none of that, and this is where we get into there's no right or wrong. None of that is right or wrong. It's all about the experience. Because this being that is polarized on the path of service to self will absolutely be able to work their way back and work their way down off that path or backwards on that path back to equilibrium, back to neutral, and then work their way up on love. They absolutely have the opportunity to do that. And it doesn't take anything other than just doing the work to do it, to work your way back and then work your way up. There's no extra punishment. There's no extra credit. There's no like imprisonment. There's no incarceration. None of that shit. No, you just have to do the work, and you're not getting penalized for it by the universe, because it's all a school. This is all a learning experience. This is all literally a laboratory, a divine laboratory, in which God Source Creator takes all of these elements and with its infinite intelligence and infinite love, takes all of these things and puts it in a little container and says, have at it, my friends. Let's see what we come up with. That's literally all this is, you guys. This is why you can dance with the devil again and not be afraid of them this time and transmute the energies this time. Menta K, thank you so much for that donation. I'm sorry, I saw it, but I'm sorry, I've been in the middle of channeling. But this is why. And this is what I mean when I say dancing with the devil again, but this time as a divine alchemist. This is the higher perspective, the higher understanding we have access to, that we can see this from. Queen Bee, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This was like an hour ago, Queen Bee, but I'm sorry guys, tangent. I'm on Twitch now talking to Queen Bee, but on Twitch, he's Hassanabi, so Hassanabi, but his name is Hassan Piker. That's who I was talking about. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I have to get better about going back and forth between YouTube and Twitch. But I hope this is making sense, you guys. You know what, Pages? Actually, I have it on this system. Ooh, you know, if we really wanted to be nostalgic on an Arcade Friday, we could play Fable. I have Fable 2. Yes, I have Fable 2 on this PC. It was on sale on Steam. I got it for dirt cheap. So we could play it. Chicken Chaser. Chicken Chaser? I love that. Chicken Chaser. A touch from... Okay, so I haven't been watching The Boys. Maybe I should start. Very much aligns with this, or rather it demonstrates what you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Can we play that together? Hold on, wait. I don't think that's a multiplayer game. But if it is, I mean, oh my God, that would be so friggin' awesome. I also don't think it's still on sale. But it doesn't have to be, I mean. I don't know, I'm checking right now. I'm looking to see. Where are you? There it is, Fable Anniversary. Yeah, I got this anniversary thingy. I don't think it's multiplayer though. I don't think so. That would be so rad. But you know what we also could do? We could play things like, I don't know, we could play Elder Scrolls Online. That will require a monthly subscription. That's the only reason. I love games like Elder Scrolls and Skyrim, but I don't like the idea of having to play and I love World of Warcraft too, but like that monthly subscription thing bullshit, man, I'm not with it. I'm not down. I don't love it that much. Maybe if I had more cash to burn, okay, I'd indulge with it, but we could definitely play something like that multiplayer. If you guys like those of my RPG heads out there, like let's totally find an RPG we can play together. That would be so cool. I don't remember it being multiplayer either. Anyway, I hope that made sense. So this is what I mean when I'm talking about dancing with the devil again. And this is also what I meant yesterday about showing loving your devil or loving the demon, loving the darkness. And this is, I've heard people like, I've heard Destiny of Queen Cup talk about this. Literally say, you have to love your devils. You have to love your karmics. You have to find a way to feel a genuine sense of love and appreciation for them, because that is what's going to help you overcome your struggle with them. But that's also technically going to help depolarize them. And that's often why those individuals run from your life, or at least are removed from your life. Now, a lot of the time we are dealing with certain, especially right now in the collective, we're dealing with human beings that are quite asleep in many cases, which makes them susceptible to manipulation or almost like puppeteering through darker, higher dimensional entities that like to manipulate those on the fourth dimension and below or whatnot, whatever. But yeah, that's a thing. Okay, I just got it. I was confused about the chakra system and the way the dimensions work. So the fourth dimension is the bridge, is like the bridge between the physical and the non-physical. Okay, that is the astral plane, but it's actually the fifth dimension that I did say that, the fifth dimension it's the fifth dimension where you learn the lesson of love. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I'm getting scrambled. I don't remember. I have to read the book. I highly recommend that I am all over the place. I highly recommend that you guys pick up a copy of The Law of One if you haven't done so already, because it is really an excellent channeling. And there are some other books. I know we've talked about this before, and I know I've talked about potentially doing a book club before, but I don't read that often. I just don't. It's not that I can't. I don't really enjoy it. It puts me to sleep very easily. Very, very easily. But also, I read when I need to. I read when I really want to learn something. That's when I read the most. But there are other books like the Seth books that are similar to or like a similar method to what happened with Ra, how Ra was channeled. Which is also kind of similar to the way that Esther Hicks channels Abraham. Okay. But the Seth books are very similar, talk about similar topics. Those are excellent to read. Thanks, Brittany. You know, it's really, I have nothing against reading. And like, I'll read an article, I'll read a newspaper, but like, I'm not a bookworm. I read if I really want to learn something, or if I really need to learn something, I will read, but I don't read for pleasure. You're reading The Alchemist currently. That was one of my first books that started me on this real conscious part of my journey. That was an awesome book. I loved it when I read that one. Zephyr. You could do a weekly reading, like a chapter a week, and then we all chat about it. That, holy shit, almost like a Bible study. Just not necessarily the Bible. Or, although maybe we could do the Bible. I've never read the Bible. At one point in my life, I did feel like I wanted to read it, but I don't know. We could do that too, but whatever. Ooh, maybe you'll do that, Zephyr. That's a good idea. This is excellent, you guys. The Bible is an alchemy book. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool, Zephyr. You and Pages used to be in a group like that. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that idea. That is a really good idea. All right. So anyway, that's it. I think I hit all the topics that I wanted to discuss today. Oh, that's so cool. You live in the same town. I love that. Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, I think I hit all the topics I wanted to hit today. I don't think we need to do cards or anything. Yeah, useless. Oh my God, if I'm not interested in it, I cannot read. I cannot read it. I cannot read it. I cannot read it. Anyway, all right, guys. I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it a day. I love you guys so very much. I hope this was helpful for you. And I hope you guys have fantastic days ahead. Stephanie, I hope your dinner is delicious if you're still here. Or you might be eating by now. But I love you all so very much. And I appreciate you all. And I'm so grateful to have you here to connect with on these days. Yes, love you, boo. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow for Friday. Friday. Oh, good. Well, enjoy. Buen provecho. Ice cream for dessert? Yes, please. You had to read the Bible a lot. You're over it now? Okay. All right, cool. I'll take that. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yes? Excellent. Take care.